for a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, whatever happened to Mark? Because he put that team together, it seems like, and then nobody ever gave him a chance again, which seems weird.
We were just talking about that this morning, and I just talked about it earlier about playing a part. But if that's not who you really are, you can't play the part, or you can't play the politics game. And I think it was a lot of that. Like, we were huge fans of Mark, the players. He was the ultimate players coach.
That was, I mean, he pretty much put that team together. Like, that's when we first started hearing about the Warriors. And then it was like he got let go, and then no other team gave him a shot.
And I talk about it in the book, as far as he was like one of my favorite coaches of all time. It was like, come in, compete, play hard. And then he was going to put you in the best position to get the most money. Like, it was players who got paid because of him that shouldn't have got paid. He was like, look, man, if you just do this, you're going to get paid. And I'm going to send you out there to do it. That's all I want you to do is do this. Just go get paid. And then he said it. Yeah, I remember he said Steph and Clay were going to be the best backcourt ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They said he was crazy.
They did. Mm-hmm.
This was 7 years ago. And that joint, like, it came to fruition. But I feel like that's the politics of it, man. And
when you say politics, what do you mean? I know they used to be upset because he was too religious, they said.
Did he make y'all go to church? That was a rumor that he made y'all go to church.
He didn't make
Sunday?
us. He didn't make us go to church. Like, he offered it to us, and we all went as a team because we got a team bunch of believers. So we went to church. Like, we was going to church regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the politics, and then you know how it is once they want you out, they gonna find something. So he had church in the facility. Like, on Wednesday, sometimes he would stream his church service from the facility.
Mean? During practice?
No. Like at night, like Wednesday night service, he'll just set up a computer in the facility, and he'll just preach, and then his congregation could stream it from at home or from the church.
So if y'all was on the road, he was preaching from wherever he was.
Well, on the road, I don't know. I know at home he did. It'd be like at 7:00 at night, so nobody was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then one particular issue was, from what I heard, was his views on gender or marriage or what the Bible said on your sexuality. Okay. And our head of our business, who he just went in the Hall of Fame, he was he was the brains behind All-Star Weekend. Like, this dude, he created the All-Star Weekend. Rick Welch, like, genius business. And he celebrated as one of the top execs in sports on the business side. And he's gay. Mm-hmm. So there was conflicts with that was, widespread. Everyone was talking about that. And it's interesting. Someone mentioned it to me. He was like, when people can express themselves, but are you allowed to express yourself that you don't agree with it? You should accept it because we should all accept each other, but it's like we're afraid to really say our beliefs. Mm-hmm. Now, like, you may not believe in something, but you still embrace that, or you have respect for them, or it's as long as you don't disrespect them or judge them.
Correct.
And
I kind of miss those days. I kind of miss the days when everybody was lying to each other. Meaning, like, everybody was keeping their shit to themselves. Whatever your religion was,
right.
What your politics were, what your sexuality was, it made the world a lot less complicated.
Well, it's hard to, you can't say that either, because now you're saying you don't accept something, or
No, I'm not saying I don't accept it. I'm just saying that it made the world a lot less complicated when you just didn't know what everybody was into. Because a lot of that shit don't matter. That shouldn't matter if Mark Jackson is the head coach of a basketball team.
It shouldn't matter, right. But some people are saying you don't accept me for who I really am, so I have to express who I am so you know it and you understand it. Mm-hmm. Therefore, you can accept it or you can understand it better. But, I mean, that's just the way of the world, man. It's like as we get more and more complicated. I do agree with that. But it was that on top of, he might have issues with ownership. That was the crazy part. Like, he didn't have a good relationship with the ownership, and
that's not gonna work.
That ain't gonna never work.
But no other team picked him up. Think about it. Not one other team.
Well, it just shows how in line the ownership group is within the NBA. When they go into a collective bargaining agreement meeting, or we're coming to the closing to the end of our contract, and we're looking at a lockout, or we don't want a lockout, they all together. Like, it ain't no more. It's no more. Or my team beat your team. They don't care about that. They care about one thing:
money.
That bottom line. Mm-hmm. And a coach explained it to me best. Like, this is one of my favorite coaches. I won't say it because he's looking for a job right now, assistant coach, and he's like my favorites. He was like, when you play sports, they put this big shiny thing in front of you, and it was like, if you don't get this, your career is never validated. You talk about Karl Malone. You talk about Charles Barkley,
Allen Iverson,
Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about all those guys. What people say all the time. I was like, yo, he's one of the best centers ever. Like Patrick Ewing underrated. Like he was so good. People were like, oh, he never won a ring. Like what that got to do with how great of a player he was? It just wasn't in his cards. But now as a player, what you trying to do? You killing yourself for this trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you killing yourself for this trophy. Like playing hurt, KD coming back, you killing yourself for this trophy. And he was like, man, that's how they get competition to be great. You know, they market all this stuff. The content you build off of a guy killing himself, like that's all money. And he's like, end of the day, like ownership cares about one thing, and that's the bottom line. Mm-hmm. And then it's tough. You got to find the right balance because you're supposed to love the sport and you should play to win. So there are sacrifices that come in that. But that's the hard part for me is just balancing the two, like knowing what it's all about as far as money. But at the same time, it's like you put yourself in a position to take care of your family for generations and you want to use your talent. The talent that God gave you, you want to maximize it. So just finding the right balance and having the mental wherewithal to balance all that and to get through all the noise to be at one with yourself when it's all said and done. And it sounds easy, but it's really hard. That's why you see so many mental issues.
I want to talk to you about mental health, but I want to ask you one quick question. You think Mark Jackson is blackballed from the NBA?
I do, yes.
Really?
Yes.